Let's talk about that feature called the Action Notebook. In the Back Order tab, this is where you're going to find all the transactions that are pending. And it's going to be specifically about those transactions from which you don't have some items in your inventory, but the customers want it. Let me give you an example. Let's close this window. We're going to create a transaction with an item that we don't have in stock, but that we sell to our customer. Let's go on New to start a new order. Let's find a customer and select anyone in the list. Now let's enter a product. Let's select a product. I'm going to do a search. Click on display. You can see those items, their availability is actually at 0, meaning that you can sell them to a customer, but you have no quantity is available for a transaction. So let's take anything in the list. The line is in red. You can see there's a column quantity, there's that column reserve, and there's also that column back order. If you try to invoice it, the system won't permit you because you don't have anything in stock. And by default, the order file is saved for later. So you can complete the transaction once you receive that item. Let's close this window. On screen, you can see there's that line that is in red. If you look at the legend, the right side of the screen, you can see that when a line is in red, it's actually because it's in back order. Now let's close this window and return in the Action Notebook feature. You can see this is a transaction that we just did with that customer. The customer is still waiting for this item. If you double click on the line, you can get the details about the order file. So this will ensure that you will know every transaction from which you need to do an action, like to do some orders from your supplier's website. In the To Order tab, this is where you're going to find everything. It could be the back order, it could be minimum quantity, and other. Now let me show you where in Complus you can define those minimum quantity. So if I close this window, remember I don't know exactly where it is that feature. So remember that little feature called a search in menu. We're gonna do a search about a specific word. Let's go with minimum. You have two features available that contains the minimum. I'm gonna talk to you later about the minimum quantities update. Let's take the second one. This is where you're gonna assign a minimum and maximum quantities for some of the product. You can apply a filter by category, or you could always do a search by entering the code or the name on this zone. So now let's select a category that is let's go with third party handset, and let's say that this one needs a minimum of 4. Let's close this window and let's return an inventory in the Action Notebook. If we go into the To Order, you now see that if I maximize the screen, we have this item from which I just assign a minimum of 4. So this could be useful, for an example, if you're near Christmas or Black Friday and you want to ensure that you got some minimum quantities of specific items in some locations. By accessing the transfer menu, it's possible to send some items from a location to other location. In Complus, there are 2 ways to send items. You can use the internal purchase or the quick transfer. Let me show you an example of an internal purchase. Let's click on New. We're gonna ask another branch, another location to send some item. Let's select Bayview. We don't want to create an automatic purchase. Let's click on No. And now we're gonna enter everything I need. Let's go with some iPhone. So let's do a search for iPhones in the system. Let's apply a category by smartphones. And we're gonna select something that we know that Bayview have for this example. Let's go with this one. We can see that Bayview has currently 3 items. Let's click on OK. And we're gonna ask for a quantity of 2 and click on OK. We can print the purchase order. Let's click on No. You can see that we just ask Bayview to send some items. Let's close this window and let's log into Bayview. Now let's return in inventory, transfer, and let's click on internal order. We're gonna apply a filter for everything that needs to be processed. You can see that Jero Square, the other location, asks for some item. If I click on modify, it's gonna give you an idea of what was asked exactly. Let's close this window. Let's click on delivery to deliver those items that was asked. We will create a delivery order for this purchase. Let's click on yes. And now you can see the column delivered. Let's say that I want to deliver those items and 2 were delivered. Let's click on OK. The system will ask me to enter the serial numbers because it's a serialized product. I can scan them or display them and select them in the list. And clicking OK to confirm. I can print the delivery form. Let's click on No. And you can see that we just complete the delivery. But they didn't receive the item yet. I just delivered them the item. So I'm going to return, close this window. I'm going to return in Jero Square. Let's go at Jero Square. Let's go in inventory, transfer, and if I go into the delivery order to receive and I display everything, you will see that actually I need to receive something from Bayview. If I click on console, it's going to give me what I need to receive. So let's see that the delivery has just came by. I just need to click on receive and confirm that this is the item I received. And it's done. I just did an internal purchase. By using the transfer menu, it is also possible to use that feature called the quick transfer. Let's go on the quick transfer tab. This process is a 2-step process, meaning that you're gonna send items to another location and this other location will receive them. So I'm actually logged into that location that is called Jero Square. We're gonna send some items to another location. Let's click on New. And now let's select the location where we want to send some item. Let's enter a reason. We're gonna add some unserialized product like accessories and some serialized products like cell phone, to give you an example. We can always scan it. So you got a scanner on them, you can scan your product. Those will be added automatically on depending if it's a serialized product or a non-serialized product. But select some in the list. Let's start by going for let's go with this product, the Griffin Reveal Case iPhone 6. Let's click on OK. We're gonna send 5 of this item. Now let's enter a cell phone that is an iPhone. Click on display. Let's apply filter by smartphone. We're gonna send 2 of this. Click OK. The system is asking me to scan the serial number I want to send. You can scan it or you can change mode and select it in the list. Click OK. Now you can see I will send this item and its item to Bayview. Let's click on process. You can print, you can send it by email or have a preview of this quick transfer. Transfer completed. But now you just send something, meaning that it needs to be received. You can see that Jira Square some items to the receiving branch Bayview. Now, I'm someone at Bayview that will receive this item. So the delivery is coming. I will need to go into the inventory section, click on transfer, go on quick transfer, display everything that needs to be received by default, and this is the delivery I'm expecting. So I just need to click on receive, and you can see, yes, this is the item I need to receive. Click on receive, and automatically you just transfer some items from Jira Square to Bayview. By accessing the loaner menu, this is where it will be possible for you to define your loaners in the software. Let's click on it. Let's select one and click on modify. On the details tab, you're gonna find the product code, the manufacturer code, the name of the product, supplier, the category, department, manufacturer. It's also possible to define a cost, a price. For example, if you want to sell this product later, you need to specify the product type. Is it a cell phone? What is the network? Is it a radio mobile? And other product type that are available. In the serial number, it will be possible to add a new serial number by entering the serial number, the location, the cost, and it's also possible to change the status of those loaners. Could be available, repair lending, rental, stolen damage, retitle, or buyout if you sell it. And this is about your current location, but you can have all serial numbers for all locations. You can even also add a memo. It is also possible to take a product from your standard list and transfer some items to your loaners. So let me give you an example. Let's go into transaction. In the inventory, let's click on product. We're gonna add an iPhone into the loaner. So let's select the category smartphones. We're gonna take this one. You need to right click on the line, select the option transfer serial number to loaner. The system will tell you that there's no description, there is no equivalent product in the loaner database. We're gonna add it by clicking on yes, and automatically it adds the new kind of product. But now the system will ask me to select the serial number that I want to transfer. Let's click on display, select the only one I have, and click on OK. The transfer was completed. Now let's return into the loaner, and you will see that this product was added. If I go into modify, look at the serial number tab, this is your current serial number that were transferred. There are some shortcuts that will permit you to access your website from your supplier directly in Complus. If you click on the Bell shop like this, it will open your browser on the product zone. You can see actually that it was open on the ERMA because the system was configured. It is possible to change it to say that you want to be connected to the product zone by default. And it is the same thing for Virgin Shop. If you click on it, it will open your browser at the address, and then you can start doing a transaction. Let me show you how you can do a stock count in Complus. So let's access the stock count that is under inventory and inventory input. Basically, a stock count will permit you to do your stock count on a monthly, weekly basis. It's really depending on your business. By creating a new stock count, just click on new. You can apply a filter by location or by product category and department. Let's click on OK. Just on the list below, you can see this is all the products that are available in everywhere in your business. You have the product code, the UPC code, the description, their availability, meaning that this is the current quantities of certain product you have right there, the reserved one, the new column, which will be about what you're gonna scan, and the variance, that is the difference between available and new. I strongly recommend you to get what we call a little scanner to scan your product. This will greatly accelerate the process of doing your stock count. Or you could always do it manually. So basically, let's start by scanning a product or typing a product code. Automatically, the system will detect that you just scanned or entered that product, and it will add, if it's an unserialized product, it will add a product quantity of 1. And if you do it again, it will do a plus one, and etc. It is also possible to do the same thing for an example, the cell phone that are serialized product. So let's scan a cell phone. Automatically, the system, because it's a serialized product, the system will ask you to scan your serial number. So again, if you got some scanner, it's really faster. So let's scan some serial number and click on OK. You can see that we don't have any quantities about this phone currently, but we just added 2. So the variance, it's 2. It means that while doing my stock count, I just saw that I was missing some of this item in my inventory, so I just added. Okay. It's also possible to use the import from device. There are some scanners on the market that will permit you to memorize what you scan. Using this feature will just drop everything that you scan from your scanner directly in Complus and adjust automatically the quantities. Also, if you enter a product code that is not exactly the same one from which you want to adjust the quantity, it will add a line on the left side, on the right side of the screen. It will be possible to select another product code that is linked to that code bar and then change the quantities manually. It is possible to save this for later or save and adjust. You're going to use mostly the save if you didn't add the time to complete your stock count. So for an example, if you go for dinner, you're going to start, and after dinner, you're going to go and then save and adjust. By doing a save and adjust, this will confirm applying what you just did on your stock count. So it will adjust all the serial numbers, all the quantities. It's going to change everything about your quantities, about all your product in your location. When you're done, you can save and adjust. I will just close this window. It is possible to adjust some quantities manually about some specific product. To do so, click on the product menu. Select the product or search for it in your database. If I maximize the screen, you need to right click on the product. And if you want to enter some product, you will use a quick product entry. Let's enter a reason. And now we're going to enter a quantity of 2 to tell the system that we want to add 2 quantity. When you're ready, click on process. And this just added some product. If I do a search again, it just added some product in your inventory. If it's some cell phone, it will ask for some serial number. So let's select some smartphone. Let's take this one. Right click on it. Click on quick product entry. Enter a reason. Let's say that we want to add 2. And let's click on process. Now the system, because it's a serialized product, will ask me to either scan the serial numbers or enter them manually. Click on OK. And automatically it just added some quantities for this product. You can do the same thing by removing. Doing the outgoing product will remove some quantities. So if you right click on the line and use a feature called outgoing inventory, it will be the contrary. So again, you need to enter reason and select and enter the quantity. Click on process. The system will ask you to scan or display and select. Let's take those two and let's click on OK. This will remove some inventory. It's going to be the same thing if it's some if it's on some unserialized product like this one. That is a case. So if you right click on it, click on outgoing inventory, we're going to remove a quantity of 2, enter a reason, click on process, and automatically it's done. So this is the way to enter some product and to remove some product. And those features are available if you have the permission to do it. So you could say that some salesperson doesn't have any access to it, and that other persons like store manager or responsible of managing the inventory could have an access to remove and enter some quantities about some product in your system.